Welcome back to our full live coverage here on the B stream for the CORSAIR DreamHack Masters and Malmö. I'm Vince, joined by Dust, and we have our final best of three. The marathon for today is coming to a close, but we have potentially plenty more Counter-Strike in this BO3 coming up. We did get to catch Tyloo earlier today. They're a bit lackluster, apart from Ben Tet, which is normally a recurring theme with them. We didn't see Fnatic, but they did lose 16-7 to ENCE, and apparently it was pretty one-sided. So I'm not sure what to expect from this game, Dust.
Yeah, surely not. I mean, especially with the roster changes that Fnatic brought to the table here, bringing back Flusha and getting Golden back as well. So having some returns to the team. Kind of wonder how much firepower this team really is going to have. Depends on how well Flusha plays. Obviously, he had a huge period off. And I have no idea what their map pool or anything is going to look like. Obviously, it's a really big roster change, bringing in a new in-game leader and a new fifth as well. It's kind of three changes at once at that point when you think about roles and the amount of players coming in.
Yes, a lot of things up in the air, question marks to be answered. Fnatic, though, on the CT side, already have Brolan playing aggressively with the CZ, is waiting for a peek up the stairs. But the bomb is actually back at T-step, so Tyloo haven't really fully bit down on anything. It does look like the bulk of their roster is now making a move into apps. Brolan has missed his chance with the CZ, goes in for a repeat. That could be his life deemed forfeit. Gonna go down to the plethora of Glocks that are finding their way towards him. And now Crims is the last line of defense on A. There is a smoke being deployed in the meanwhile as they look to waterfall their way out of there, and somebody instantly drills Crims in the head. He can play no further part in this round either, and it's not looking good for Fnatic in their retake.
No, not at all. Brolan gets caught with no assistance, and they weren't able to defend either with Crims inside the pit, so Tyloo will get this bomb planted. JW's already up lane, though. Had a chance at one, but not quite. Freeman going to pop off, and I've lost connection?
Same. Yeah, everyone's just running on the spot.
All right.
Mr. Producer, are you still there? Oh, no.
Oh, he's still here. Ah, okay. So we're all in the same boat, which is one that includes a lot of moving legs. It's like everyone's at the elliptical.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty good description.
So I'm not sure what that was all about and when we'll get back into it, but hopefully it'll be soon.
Yeah, it could be a little while, especially if there are networking issues or internet problems. At the very least, we're probably going to need to restart the server and probably start from scratch again. As it did cut out.
I don't know if the piss around would have finished or not, because we're on a slight delay. The server died. Awesome.
You love.
Well, we hate to see that. Really hate to see.
Do we have an ETA on how long it'll take?
Right.
All right. Well, we don't have an ETA on the server, so we're just gonna have to fill some time. I'm gonna try and get my fried brain around this. So, Dust, in terms of this best three, what are your expectations? Obviously, I think, is it safe to say that Fnatic are the favorites here? I mean, when you look at their team on paper, surely.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, in theory, it would make sense. I mean, Tyloo have really struggled to do a whole hell out of anything once they get to these bigger national tournaments. They're really good within their region. They're really good at qualifying for these types of tournaments, but we have really been a long while since we've seen them really leave a mark at a big event like this. When you think about Dallas, you think about the EPL finals, think about the major. Just not a whole lot there. Meanwhile, at Fnatic, I mean, this is a pretty drastic roster change. And it's kind of a weird one, too, because they didn't even really like go for like Knock or like some other like young Swedish talent. They just kind of brought back in old faces, essentially. Now, obviously, Flusha, if he can get motivated, he can get back in shape. I mean, he's a guy who's always been able to be a very capable player, and he's oftentimes throughout his career, even when he's had off periods, he's been able to recover himself and still wind up being a very viable, person to have on your team that can have impact. Golden coming back as an in-game leader is another big question mark, though. Is he going to be able to lead this team appropriately? Can he come up with, the right foundation to actually drive this team forward? Actually give us some good Swedish Counter-Strike. We haven't had that in a while.
I suppose for everything you said, though, you could also level a lot of that at Tyloo. We haven't had an Asian region team really take it by storm in a while now. Like we've
Except
had,
for Renegades,
yeah,
the
yeah,
closest
sure,
thing.
Renegades.
They had a
But
pretty
but
good
in
run
terms
earlier
of
this year.
But in terms of like Chinese players, Indonesian
Yeah.
players, you know, those kind of nations, we've just haven't really had anything in the longest time. Like we've had glimpses. We did already discuss Tyloo obviously having their breakout event in Malmö back in 2016. But since then, it's just been this weird roller coaster of ups and downs, mainly downs, to be fair,
Right.
of never quite living up to that expectation that many people had for them.
Yeah, always known for having like really fast, twitchy aim, a pretty high skill ceiling. Could play like really aggressive, kind of wild CS. Really good at just bunching up and clustering a site with a lot of utility. Always just seem to be a little bit behind the curve on the current meta though, and always seem to really struggle to have like good functioning defaults and established roles and having the right players at the right time. Meanwhile, with Fnatic, I mean, you had Golden who had success as an in-game leader with Fnatic. He came up through their academy team, got put on the main team. You know, had some struggles at first, but also had a lot of success, particularly that Katowice victory that they had, 2018, I believe it was, as well as WESG. Grant WESG obviously wasn't the biggest competition, but still a couple of big titles. And then kind of slowly but surely faded Golden out when they brought Exist on board. First de-rolled him and then eventually removed them altogether. Now they brought him back, realizing maybe that, you know, he was the best option to maybe bring Fnatic back into some type of international relevancy. I mean, it's not like Fnatic are too far from it. I mean, earlier this year, they were still quite a strong team. Had a couple of big events like early in the year and very late 2018, but very recently, obviously, not a whole lot of success. Didn't even make the major. It was probably like the biggest mark against them.
No, absolutely. Just a quick update as well on the circumstances behind the first round. They are going to be replaying it, as I don't believe it ended. So obviously it's going to be effectively a restart of the match. For those of you who just joined us, you've missed very little. There was maybe 3/4 of a pistol round, and the server went down. It was still winnable for Fnatic, by the way. Like they were certainly behind, but they could have still pulled it off. So we are going to be restarting. And additionally, I should also mention that if you haven't already and you're interested, especially if you're in Sweden or Denmark, and you want to get yourself across to the CORSAIR DreamHack Masters Malmö playoffs in the stadium, we do still have some tickets available. So definitely go book them. Make sure that you show up. Support the teams as best you can. Scream, shout, all that good stuff. I've had the pleasure of being a part of it myself back in 2016. It was an incredible experience, and you don't want to miss it. If you have a chance to go to Malmö and watch these teams play and duke it out live, 100% take that opportunity. You won't regret it.
There you go. So yeah, a bit unfortunate for Tyloo to have to replay the pistol, but that is how the rules shake out. And again, as you noted, there was still some chance Fnatic could have brought that one back. And when you crash a situation like that, you kind of just have to replay it, unfortunately. So, a bit of a freebie there, I guess.
Yeah, no, I do wonder if Fnatic are going to assume it, and if Tyloo go for the same strat again. I'd be kind of curious to see if they do alter their play or what happens here.
Also curious if Roland's going to play that aggressive apartment setup again. It's one of those things where, like, if you don't have some assistance from Boiler, you can't escape it. That's why you had to reface that player. Because it's either that or you turn around and try to run away and you get shot in the back on the way out. So it's definitely a very kind of like one and done position unless you have some support, which he didn't have, which really was the biggest problem with that pistol for Fnatic. But again, luckily, it's going to get rehashed anyhow, so it's no harm, no foul. Kind of get away with one there in that regard.
Yeah, especially as you had the CZs, like typically up close where where they have the fully automatic, you know, aspect to the CZ, it's where it's at its most prolific and it's most powerful. So as soon as he did miss those first bullets, he was basically just a dead man walking. Like if you get a kill, then fair enough. But yeah, I completely agree with you. So I'm very curious to see if he will go back into apps or if they're going to try something a little bit different. Obviously, we need to have the players ready and to get this game underway before we can find that out.
That would be great. I would love that. Oh, it looks like it's going live. Looks like they've heard your calls.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
It turns out it was all us all along.
Yeah, you finally hit that start button, didn't you?
Yeah, man. There we go. Let's have a look how it pans out then, Dust. And oh no, we're not actually going to go live.
Not live again. False start.
Yeah,
Hey, hey,
to
hey,
see
false
it.
alarm! Hey, hey. All right.
I
You
feel
got
like
me
there's a
with 2
reference
seconds
there I'm
before
not
you got
getting.
It's a song. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
I actually referenced it earlier as well, a couple of games ago. It's all a big
Oh, when the
blur,
fire
isn't it?
alarm thing happened?
You know what'd be awesome?
If this game started?
Bingo. You've really nailed it. You've really outdone yourself on that one.
Smashed it.
Oh, man.
Okay, so here's a question then, Dot.
Oh, God. Where's this headed?
No.
Okay.
No, it's
Go
look,
on.
I'm absolutely knackered, but I'm not that knackered that I'm going to start saying unreasonable things. But the question is,
Uh-huh.
out of all the roster changes that have currently happened throughout the world, which is the one that you're most excited for and why?
Let me think. To me, I actually am kind of excited for the Vitality one, just because I think one of the things that Vitality did lack was consistent firepower to go alongside Tyloo. I mean, Alex and Apex could do it at times, and when they were at their most successful, it was because those two were able to really kind of be the other pieces that Vitality needed to have enough firepower to compete. So I'm actually pretty curious to see if they can actually make that work, because they actually had the most to lose, right? They only had like one actual bad result, which was like the loss to, what was it, Renegades in the playoffs of the major? Or was it Avangar? Might have been Avangar, the quarterfinals of that tournament. That was really the only bad result that they had. So they definitely had the most to lose by making a roster change, in the sense of where they were at and how things could wind up after the fact. So yeah, I'm kind of excited to see how that one works out, I guess. The most interesting one, though, I think, is the G2 move. Going from an all-French team to international is completely crazy. Especially since, apparently, from what I've heard, they literally met each other for the first time at this tournament. They have had no practice. Nothing. Because, like, the G2 guys obviously came straight from New York to this event, so... That's a pretty wild one.
Yeah, I agree. And interestingly enough, G2 actually had a pretty damn good showing when we were casting them earlier. Didn't get as I think they played Astralis, if I'm not mistaken, as well.
Right.
After obviously we didn't get a chance to watch that, but I think for me the most exciting one, purely from a basis of seeing how unlocked they may potentially be, is the Navi changes.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
Because Flamey in particular, I feel like was never a great fit with Zeus in terms of IGLing, and I've always said that Flamey is a very, very skilled player. He has that potential to be an incredibly good player. He just needs to find the right dynamic. And with Guardian coming back, I'm really curious if this is where Navi step up a few notches. Like, obviously, most teams have a honeymoon phase where everything's like clicking, and then things start to get a little bit more difficult, right? Take that as a given. But to me, Navi could actually be a really solid roster. I think since the last time that Simple and Guardian have played together, Simple's matured quite a lot as a person. Additionally, he's had a few dips lately, but I think maybe Guardian is the kind of player that can really get his focus back again. Also, don't worry, guys. It's not live. For those of you that are freaking out in chat, it's not live. Let's all calm down. There's 2 of them AFK from the tease, so it ain't live.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good shout as well. Also, obviously curious to see like how Simple does with the new role. He's no longer the primary op. He's going to probably be more of like a secondary entry fragger, I would have to guess. Maybe with like Boomich. So curious to see how that pans out for him. I mean, obviously he's going to play like probably whatever the hell he wants and be successful. So that'll be fun to follow. Also, just fun to follow if Guardian can get back into any real good form, because obviously his last bit with FaZe was really, really rough. But that was obviously a tough situation.
Yeah.
That whole team is kind of in shambles, to be honest.
100%. Yeah, I can't even really judge Guardian for his performances on FaZe, because it just seems like that. I'm not saying it's a sinking ship. I think there's a lot of positives in FaZe. Yanko in particular is somebody. Okay, well, Dust is going to go ahead and drop it.
It is sinking ship.
What do you think? Okay, let's bridge this, because again, we have no idea how long.
Podcast.
Like, yeah, this is effectively a podcast now, guys. How long? Okay, let me rephrase this. What do you think FaZe need to do in order to become a top flight team again? Because clearly they've completely slipped away. What needs to be done?
I mean, having an in-game leader would probably be pretty nice. Seems like
It's
that
fair
would help.
shout. But do you think that FaZe can ever be successful with Nico on the team? Or is
I
he
have no
too much of
idea.
a problem?
I don't know enough about like the inner dynamics of the team. All I can really go by is like what people say about him and like his ego and all this. Like I don't know enough about that to really comment. Like it wouldn't be fair. I won't pretend to know that. So yeah, I'm not sure. Obviously, if he gets back into shape, he's one of the most skilled players we have in the game. I mean, last year he was like what, number 2, number 3 in the world, behind like Simple and Device. I think he was number 3. And he's been a fantastic player for a really long time as far as the frags he can put on the server. So it feels like you should be able to build a team with him where he's like one of your leading pieces, and that's going to be some superior firepower to really get a lot of damage done. But yeah, I'm not really sure. I mean, here's the thing. Do you wonder if, like, eventually G2 goes for him, since they're building a multinational team anyway, and you put him with Nexa and Hunter? I mean, that's a possibility. But I don't know. It feels like that's Nico's team, FaZe is. And he got CORSAIR, the guy he really wanted, so I feel like he's probably not going anywhere for a while. And neither is Cole. He just got bought out. So, like, you kind of have to stick with those two and kind of figure out the rest, it feels like.
Yeah. I'm just not entirely I'm not entirely sold on the current roster. Obviously, I'm going to give it a fair chance. I'm not going to just judge it instantly.
Yeah, New York
but it doesn't.
probably didn't have enough time.
Yeah, absolutely not. But it doesn't really fill me with like an amazing amount of confidence going forward. But I'd be the first person to admit if I'm wrong. I'd be happy to be proven wrong. I think it's only a good thing for CS if you have more teams that are jockeying for position. It's great, for example, the Evil Geniuses have started to really look like the finished article. Obviously, they had a bit of a rough game earlier against Greyhound, but you know, it's a slight dip. The New York performance is fantastic, so it's always good for CS. Do you think that Liquid are still first team in the world?
The eye test doesn't say so. Not since the player break. I think if you like add up all the results and average it, maybe it's still the case. Just because I mean they have still made the most finals of anyone this year and have won 10 of them. So, or wait, no, not 10. They made 10 finals out of 13 events. Is what I say. So, no one really has that same type of track record for the year.
If not Liquid, then who? Who would you put as number one?
That's the question, isn't it? I think it's like a 3-way race between Astralis, Evil Geniuses, and Liquid. And I think either one could win given the day. You know, it seems like Evil Geniuses has a pretty sick head-to-head against Astralis lately. It seems like Astralis has got their head-to-head back against Liquid. Not sure what the Liquid Evil Geniuses head-to-head would look like, just because they haven't really played each other in a big best-of-3 since all the roster changes took place for Evil Geniuses and stuff. So, yeah, your guess is kind of as good as mine on that one. I think it's between those three, though. I think it's very obvious those are the top 3 candidates. I think there's actually a pretty big gap between those 3 and anyone else until we start seeing how these roster changes pan out. Because, I mean, I imagine a team like Navi, if everything goes according to plan, same with Vitality, those 2 teams should still be able to challenge as long as, you know, everything goes right. But it seems like those 3 teams are really far ahead.
Yeah, I certainly think that it's a case of a 3-horse race right now. I'd probably just slightly edge of Astralis, but that's off the major performance. Obviously, New York, they didn't look quite as sharp. NRG, well, ex-NRG, sorry. EG, to me, obviously looked the best team there. But yeah, the eye test for this event, obviously only having been able to cast Liquid and EG from our perspective, is that neither of them really impressed me. But Liquid less so than Evil Geniuses. I feel like Liquid were just so incredibly off kilter.
Pretty fair. So, folks, we're still not really sure what's going on yet, so we're going to throw it to a quick break. When we come back, I'll be bringing you the game. So sorry that this is taking so long, but not much we can do. We figure we'd fill with a little bit of conversation, have a little bit of fun with you guys in chat, but it seems like a break is in the cards. Not really sure when it'll go live. By luck, I'll throw it to break and it'll go live 5 seconds later, but maybe that's exactly what we need right now. So I'm going to throw it to break. We'll be right back.
All right, well, it does seem like we are good to go. I think we are actually live in the second round. Tyloo did win the pistol. We had a bit of a lag, but apparently they did it off the stream. So they've had a cheeky manual reset, and now we're good to go. Everyone's happy. Let's hope that the server stays up, and we're all good to continue in this best of three that's only really just started. Fnatic are going to force buy, really a few Deagles and a couple of CZs. And a smoked off somebody decides to back away from Banana.
Yeah, we do see pressure going on the apartments thanks to Attacker as well as Summer. Bomb meeting up with him as well, which is going to be on the back of Freeman. So it seems like, again, just very default, very slow pace, waiting to see if Fnatic's going to make a move, do something aggressive. But Fnatic's actually playing fairly default, despite the fact that they're just with upgraded pistols. Nothing too crazy going on here.
I suppose as a result of having some grenades, some smokes, and HEs, they can't feasibly stall this push. They don't have to feel compelled to go for any desperate plays. There's so many smokes landing down all around Golden, who is going to be joined by Flusher and JW. But the bomb is heading over towards the other side of the map. Brawler's going to miss all of his bullets, and Summer will make him pay with his life. Molly and smoke deployed towards the library side. Tyloo going to have the plant, and Fnatic likely just want to save this. Somebody, he puts an AK in there. It could trade hands to Fnatic. I'm surprised he's going so aggro. That's just a free AK-47 now for the CTs. Why?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I mean, I can understand you wanting to send your MAC-10s in there, try to clean up some kills, maybe print some extra money. I mean, that's totally a reasonable thing to do. But certainly giving up the AK, especially considering the fact that everyone on that team has armor and they have 3 Deagles, like all of a sudden you've made them pose an even bigger threat in the next round than what they've done in this one, rather than just letting them have the pistols and that's it. Again, I can understand hunting for frags, but I really should have been the SMGs going for that, not somebody. I guess he just thought he had a timing because he was at Banana the entire time and he, you know, saw them falling back to B. He thought he might be able to sneak in, but definitely a little bit ill-advised.
So, advice to say the least. It's going to be a CZ drop to Brolant, Flusher, AK-47. Let's see if they do rinse and repeat with more of a default play, or if they try and stack together somewhere.
Yeah. 4 SM, or actually all SMGs in play now for Tyloo. They really want to try to get some of that money back with that lost AK. Kind of tough, though. I feel like this kind of plays in Fnatic's hands a little bit, considering they have an AK and they have all these Deagles. SMGs, yes, please. Almost everyone has head armor as well for Fnatic, so the MAC-10s aren't going to be as effective, except for against Crims or Brolin.
Yeah, this is where the AK really will shine that little bit brighter.
Yep.
Flusher is currently using it on the B side. He's got Golden alongside him, but it's going to be a heavy amount of grenades being flung across. Brolan is actually blocking a couple of players, and there's 2 kills gone down. Tyloo have let this one just get completely out of control. Crims is connected a headshot on towards Summer, and now Bentet and somebody try and traipse together. What an absolute disaster of a round this has been. MAC-10 at this range, not going to do a great deal. He has to close the gap. He has the bomb. But Flusher could even move in and try and rotate around the back of him. It's not going to happen, and Golden puts him down with ease. What a brutal round for Tyloo.
Massive play from Brolin on the balcony there, putting that smoke down. Running inside of it can always be awkward whenever you're passing by each other and smokes are bumping into each other. Maybe he sneaks behind them and gets kills. Maybe he gets caught and dies immediately and Tyloo pours into the bomb site. So many different things can happen in that scenario, but it wound up being the best possible one for Brolin. 2 big kills, picks up the UMP, slows them down. They get picked across the board at that point. Now, Fnatic gets all these free SMGs to put into use. They're up against a fully bought Tyloo, though, except for somebody. It's always weird saying his name. I feel like I'm in some type of Abbott and Costello sequence. Probably not many people know what that means. The who's on first, what's on second thing. Maybe some people will get that.
Does get a bit confusing at times.
Imagine a game where it's like somebody, nothing, there's a no one.
Yeah. JW spraying Freeman through the smoke with a MAC-10 and potentially getting seconds. Summer slightly out of arm's reach. Does tag him slightly with the deagle. Fnatic trading a lot of the fallen weapons from Tyloo and now using them against Tyloo, who themselves do have a pretty decent buy with 3 assault rifles, but losing Freeman so early on has depleted their grenade count. Only 2 smokes, a molly, and a flash. Not much to play with.
Yeah, they're trying to take what resources they do have left and use it over towards the A side of the map. We do have just 2 players here defending right now. It's going to be Crims and Brolin. Kind of separated from each other, to be fair. But Crims was boosted. Unfortunately, it did not pay off. He's been caught, and now Brolin is on an island. No support anywhere nearby. He's trying to stay alive as best as he can. He does find 1 kill. If he can find another, that would be fantastic, but not quite going to happen. Done a lot of damage, though.
Yeah, 1 more kill could have sealed the deal as well. There's only 7 seconds left as the bomb went down. But as you said, damage has been inflicted. Summer and Somebody, both very low indeed. But Somebody with the AK-47 is going to put down Golden. They know where JW currently is. It's all down to flusha. Can he come back onto the site and pull off something special? Headshot connects on to Summer. Somebody, the next port of call, who is just in the corner of the site, but comes straight out with a running AK headshot. And Tyloo will continue into winning ways once again, breaking the economy down of Fnatic. They should be able to afford in the next round, but after that, they're going to have nothing left to give.
Seemed like there was a chance thanks to Brolin's efforts on the balcony. I think it hurt that Crims couldn't find anything from that boosted position, and the fact that Brolin was limited to 1 frag certainly didn't help either. Still had a chance at the retake, had a 3-on-3 there for a bit, but Tyloo do come out on top. Somebody who I know had obviously a really rough game earlier today against Vitality is off to a pretty good start here so far, being that main banana control player. He's definitely done his duty.
So with the full-on purchase, Fnatic have mere pennies left in the bank account. Golden actually, there's about 4k remaining.
Right.
Molly into upper banana is going to force away Tyloo, but somebody is still in the corner in the alcove. A 1-for-1 trade. There is a smoke deployed though, so they can't rush behind it. And it's going to force Tyloo back towards middle. The bomb actually dropped on T steps. It's going to take them a while to retrieve that.
Indeed. Look at that. JW through kind of just the crack of Boiler Doorway gets a leg shot onto Attacker. That was a very slick little shot there. Almost the frag, in fact. Not quite, though. Tyloo split up 2 to each side of the map. The bomb towards B, though. And there's actually no one there except for flusha, who's playing more towards Ruins, and CT Spawn is kind of playing for retake. They're really banking on some type of A hit, or maybe at least finding a frag and then rotating and retaking in a 4-on-3. Smoke has been dropped on CT Spawn. This will give flusha some idea of what's going on. Still no rotation yet, though, from Fnatic from the A side of the map. JW would be the first one to go, as he has that op over towards Archway. But also, still, Tyloo is not committed. They're kind of double faking a little bit here. And now they're going to re-smoke CT, and this time they're going to go for it. It's going to have to be a retake from Fnatic.
Yeah, flusha started to back away towards the CT side. So as you say, retake is on the cards if they want to go for this. 4-on-4. Attacker very low. 8 seconds to go. Bomb has been put down. It does seem like Fnatic are hungry to give this a try. No incendiaries or HEs could be a little bit of a concern. You can't get rid of the angles like New Box or Dark Position. And Bentet straight out with an insta headshot onto Crims is going to send a collective shiver down the spine of Fnatic. The Swedes going to be moving in. This is where the Mac 10 could be so very deadly. Roland with 1. No second kill forthcoming, and JW has to save his AWP. He's going to try and smoke himself into safety. And a couple of these players may actually die from the bomb if they don't push in. Bentet's the first one in, and the first one to fall. But Tyloo going to claim another round. 4-1 to the good. Fnatic can't get the retake.
Yeah, I just feel like it's really hard playing for the retake when you know you don't have the utility for it. Like, when you don't have the incendiaries or HEs or enough flashbangs, I feel like it would have been better off just playing 2 to each site. You know, they did have a couple of smokes. You can kind of use that to stall out top banana for longer and buy more time for more information. You had JW with an AW playing a forward angle on middle anyway. So let him hold that like small crack just to keep information on top middle, and then you probably just keep 2B and just keep chain smoking it because you don't really have, again, the option for the retake. So a little bit odd they went for that decision. Fair enough that they thought they could just brute force their way in with aim, but it just didn't happen for them. And now it's going to be 4-1 for Tyloo, and it's going to be Fnatic on just these Deagles and an op. Still obviously can be very deadly though, and they do have a lot of smokes.
Certainly are pitfalls here on Tyloo. We saw them earlier today struggling time and time again to get onto sites in enough time. They've been close a couple times already here on their T side. Fnatic haven't posed too much of a resistance on the CT side. There's the peak though. That's what JW is known for. On a map where he can be so very dangerous. He's already rotating over on the A side as well, where 2 of his teammates currently reside. Brolan and Crims are going to be bolstered up by JW's presence, and now Golden's also going to join them. There's a slight gap in the K-Bales. That's enough to see Crims lose his head. JW's made a move in. The bomb has been dropped down. Brolan close range with a Desert Eagle. Oh, that shot onto Summer is disgusting. It may be the round-winning moment as flusha can now play some mind games. There's not much time remaining, and Bedpet is going to fake the bomb into flusha's hands. Brolan's deagle work there was simply sublime.
It absolutely saved the round. If he doesn't get those kills, that goes to Tyloo 100%. They had great spacing and trading onto JW's AWP inside the bomb site. They were getting a lot of great space over that direction as well, but then Brolan tees off with the deagle, gives flusha a very winnable 1v1. Vincent had no idea where it would be coming from. So you gotta tip your hat to Brolan, the youngster on this team. He's definitely kind of the future of this team, kind of the guy you're really hoping can be the star of this team. And definitely delivered for his team in a big way there. Finally gets him another round on the board after winning one earlier and then losing a couple in a row. Now it's actually put Tyloo right onto basically a force buy. So this will have its ripple effects thanks to Brolan's play that last round.
The real game changer of a round and a play by Brolan, but Fnatic haven't quite looked like they're comfortable just yet and confident on this CT side. So Tyloo still in with a real shot, glimmer of hope, looking to vanquish the Swedes early on, break them down again. Smokes in the eyes of flusha and Golden. Not going to budge an inch, though. flusha just has the smoke out. As soon as he hears any sound cues, he's going to toss it out. And there we go. He has to throw it in. There's actually a gap in this smoke as well.
Indeed, there is. Nothing played off of it just yet, though. Tyloo's still kind of waiting it out just a bit more, but now the re-smokes will be coming in. flusha will play through it with the flash, finds the headshots. And Golden assisting.
Golden, though, has been banished momentarily. 25 seconds. Once again, it's going to come down to the wire. flusha has the right idea, but he can't stop the bomb from being planted. However, he has thinned it out to just 2 players remaining. Summer's been tagged as a Molotov down, and lots of damage inflicted. And finally, flusha does get some help. He's been put down to 2 HP, but Brolan and Crims come in clutch. And the Swedes will pick up a 3rd round, just 1 behind Tyloo now.
Well done for Fnatic on the retake. Great initial defense as well from flusha. He also had the big play, didn't stop the plant, but got him right away, not allowing him to reposition and help defend the retake. So good to see flusha on point. Again, he is the one kind of returning to this team alongside Golden. That was the big roster change. Seeing Exist and Twist go. This time it's a Pico from Tyloo. JW getting a little bit aggressive at it with AWP will find first blood. Looking to tie this thing up here shortly, perhaps. Should be a tie around the corner.
Yeah, barring some disgusting deeks, it's going to be Fnatic getting us to 4-4. First map in this best of 3. Another elimination match. And flusha has spotted a chunk of terrorists, and it should be padding those stats now. Attacker tight left-hand side, doesn't want to show his hand just yet, is hoping that one of the CTs overextends and gives him a free kill. But now he has came out into the open and Golden will put him down. 4-4, all tied up now.
Tyloo going to be back onto the full buy, however. Going to have the 5 rifle set up. Kind of their main thing. They don't really have a primary WP on this team. And obviously T-side opping on Inferno is not really a necessity. So they will just stick with this. Decent amount of utility around it as well. See if they're able to get something going here. Some aggression this time going to be over towards Banana. JW leading it, but he gets flashed and still finds the kill and gets out. That is incredible from him. And he'll be able to reposition towards the A-bomb site now.
And gets out with 100% HP. Like,
that is ridiculous, isn't it?
Not a single player from Fnatic took damage. That is unreal. It's like a similar play that we saw earlier when Vitality were playing, and Apex went for that sort of peak, and he just got completely obliterated.
That is a coin flip, man. It's so risky to do that swing out, because some people will just like hold bottom Banana for that exact angle and just get a free kill. Now Fnatic go to triple lane. There's 2 on B. They're having to defend it, though, and we might see Freeman just kind of creep through the smoke. There's a pop flash set up, so this could still be a chance. It's all going to come down to aim. Who wins this trade?
Flashes did land in the eyes of both the Swedes on the site, but Freeman is going to be put down by Flusher, who is still at the back of new boxes, is still looking to carve out some heads, and JW, who did break the deadlock, had already rotated over to the B side, so he couldn't help his teammates out there. Roland caught a bit of an oversight. I mean, you have to expect that someone may have pushed into ruins at that stage.
Yeah. I don't even know if they're going to go for this. I think Crims is setting up a nade, so they might indeed just try to take a crack at it. JW will smoke off, and here comes the nade over.
Molotov designed towards the new boxes. Crims, in the meanwhile, going to get a move on. 2 players over on Coffins. The kill starting to come down. JW's picked up another one, and there's the spray. JW's gone down, and the bomb will follow. Unfortunately for Fnatic, they've got the kills, but not the rounds.
That's so tough, man. They had a couple more seconds. They win that. They did a great job with what smokes and utility they did have to get the frags, but again, just not fast enough. Always tough retaking and having enough time to get the defuse when you lose control of ruins on some type of B take. If you can maintain that area, then that gives you like kind of another way back into the bomb site rather than just relying going through CT spawn or flanking Banana. They didn't really have that. That always makes things a little bit more strenuous. Certainly hurt that they didn't really even have like a rotation. When you choose to play 2 players inside the B bomb site and you have really no one drifting towards CT spawn to kind of assist either with pop flashes through the smoke on the CT connector, or maybe even just throwing some gunfire down, just doing something to kind of help you hold on to the site. If those 2 players somehow fold or don't trade evenly, you're in for a bad time. That's basically what happened. Despite the opening pick from JW, you get it. He wants to reposition. He wants to kind of really keep Tyloo guessing where the op's going to be. It's always a good sign. It's when you're, a very mobile opper. But unfortunately, it really just kind of hurt Fnatic in that round. And now Tyloo able to buy up, though it is not the best buy, man. They're on 3 MAC-10s and a Galil. They lost all their players, so the rebuying really hurt them into this round. Fnatic actually has the better buy despite losing the round.
Did waste the smoke, though. Flusher derped his smoke, threw it towards the CT side. I think it was aimed over on the Banana. Didn't quite work out. Let go of it too early. Not going to really cost them that dearly, though. There's no fast, aggressive play from Tyloo. They're actually occupying middle and apps for the time being.
Yeah, I mean, with this many MAC-10s, I feel like you just want to explode in a close-range battle. Like, whether that be bunching up in apartments and trying to jump balcony with the MAC-10s, or whether that be, like, smoking off pit and just rushing the site with the MAC-10s, or smoking off site and rushing pit. Something like that. Like, you need to just get in their face and get these MAC-10s rattling off.
Well, it's actually the bomb that's gone in first, and Crims has dropped him instantly. Roland now has been smoked out, but able to do a lot of damage on the approach. Using that smoke for Sanctuary, USP comes out. His trusty sidearm keeps him alive, and Flusher will do the rest, even once again.
Yeah, Brolin has consistently performed in that pit and apartments area. He's had several multi-frag rounds, and you feel like really I feel like at least 2 of these 5 rounds for Fnatic have really just been off the back of Brolin making a big play. That one Deagle round comes to mind where he set up Flusher for the 1v1, and then the round we just watched where he gets a hat trick. ties this game right back up and has Tyloo onto a save. So he's done so well.
I believe it was Freeman on this very map earlier today that had a really rough go of it. He only picked up 4 or 5 kills in the entire map.
Yeah, that's very true. He was supposed to be touted as a super skilled aimer, and we really haven't seen that at all today.
Somebody just watching for the balcony peek on top of the fences. No one is there. Brolan is actually more passive in pit, as we just found out. With Bentet taking a chunk of damage. Molotov over into the apps, just stopping any re-engaging peek. But Summer will find his aim true and straight with the Desert Eagle. Crims now has so many options available ahead of him and almost was spoiled for choice in who he went for first. In doing so, killed nobody. That grenade is significant, but so is the Deagle damage. And it's being fired straight back in towards the Swedes. They're all clumping up together as well. HE going up and over, but not actually landing onto any of these players. One bullet will silence 2 of these at the very least, but Tyloo are doing a great job of holding on. They're making Fnatic really work for this round if they're going to come in and try and take it. Flashbang designed towards the pit. And now Fnatic make a move in. Somebody with 2 kills. And now Gold's being tanked up from the backside. And Tyloo have picked up one of their worst buys of this entire game.
Yeah, just being able to catch Brolan without him really posing much of a threat. I almost feel like I caster cursed him there a little bit. And then, yeah, they just did such a great job stalling Fnatic's retake at Moto. I mean, how many nades and such have they did to Fnatic really didn't feel comfortable pushing into the site until it was too late. Then when they finally did go for it, they just got absolutely blitzed. That's a big round win for Tyloo on, you know, basically nothing. To come up with it is massive stuff. They have the lead back now. They have Fnatic's economy quite low, but so is theirs. This round really could be worth 2, Vince. I mean, both economies are very fragile going into the next. Could be Tyloo extending their lead, or Fnatic tying this thing right back up.
This is, of course, the pick of Tyloo. Fnatic won't be getting too carried away just yet. But on the CT side, it's starting to look a little bit slippery. Bentet and Attacker have both been tagged down to around 50%, but Fnatic's firepower not great with the FAMAS. They still possess some utility. A couple of kits. Was trying and successfully does block the smoke designed for archers. So that's going to allow him a little bit of a gap, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to exploit it too much because Tyloo are backing away towards the banana side.
Indeed they are. It was Flusher alone at first. He was getting a rotation from JW, but now JW, after that smoke, has actually kind of thought differently. He's kind of come back now. So now, again, it's all on Flusher. He's got no utility. There's no utility for a retake either. So it could be, again, in fact, tough into a really tough spot where you're trying to retake a man down and you have no nades to do it with. They are going to be rotating through, and Flusha does find one through the smoke. He might even find another. It's very close. He gets boosted. He does find one. Actually, it's JW through the smoke. Excuse me.
Flusha certainly did a whole chunk of damage, runs out of bullets, nearly gets blocked into a death. But even on a post plant with very few grenades, because they whittled down the T so much, with so much damage from Flusha in the smoke, Fnatic successfully get the retake kicking off and able to trade across to a couple of AK-47s. That's a big moment in this half, you have to feel.
Yeah, I feel like if Flusha doesn't get that kill and get the damage on the other, then that retake is going to be so strenuous because, again, it's going to be a 5-on-4 with no nades. Tough, really, but Flusha makes a huge play, gets the boost for JW, who also pitches in. And so Fnatic are right back to a tie. There was a bomb plant, so Tyloo actually able to muster up somewhat of a buy in this round. A couple of rifles, a few upgraded pistols. Also, a score update. Vitality is up 1-0 in the series against Ints in the upper bracket. It's 5-5 on map 2. Just to give you that update.
Meanwhile, this map very much in the balance. Of course, Fnatic now starting to get a bit of a stranglehold over it, considering that at one point they were 4-1 behind. This is quite a solid comeback from Swedish squad. Tyloo all residing around mid right now, though, and it was a worse buy just a few rounds ago that did yield around towards them. That'll be in the back of Fnatic's mind. It's not going to be the double spray. It would have been one hell of a transition onto Brolan, who's in pick. The smoke down could afford some of the opportunity to get this plant in play. They have a couple of incendiaries. If they toss that to the side, it's going to get really dicey. Brolan spraying as he may through the smoke is going to be rewarded with another kill. And here goes JW, landing nothing but headshots. Bentet bounces back with a P250, but surely his days are numbered. And Golden taps himself across to a kill. And Fnatic will take the lead for the first time here on Inferno.
Yeah, it's another round where Brolan just stands firm in that A anchor position. Another time where he gets 2 kills and he buys time, he holds space, he denies it for Tyloo, he gives other kind of angles for Fnatic to use to pry back open the bomb site. Obviously, JW huge on that round with a couple of kills. And so you're seeing these individuals here on Fnatic, the ones you want to see stepping up and delivering, doing it time and time again. They've now won a couple in a row. They've actually won a ton here lately. They've won, what, like 6 of the last 8 or something like that? Because they were down 4-1 at one point. Great recovery.
Oh, the dink. Bentet down to 1 HP. Surely he's not going to get any kills from this position.
How did he get hit to 99 from a SIG? Or an AK? That's wild.
I think didn't he get dinked partially through the wall?
Maybe. I just heard the dink noise and saw that the guy had a SIG, and I'm like, huh? That's wild if you do 99 damage with one of those weapons. May not wind up mattering.
It's going to be especially tilting if Bentet somehow comes out and gets a couple of entries now, 1 HP. And for all intents and purposes, he probably should have been a dead man. Molotov into pit. Brolan is able to relocate, and Bentet will not get any kills. He's been found from archers before Attacker deals with the threat. Molotov in, Flusher out. Attacker, eagle-eyed, trained across the library. Brolan is very much alone right now, not for the first time. He seems very good at surviving for longer than he should be. But eventually, his house of cards will come crumbling down, and there's not much that Golden and Crims can do to resurrect him.
No. Maybe they can still make the retake work, though. It's going to be difficult being down a man. It looks like Golden's already been trapped inside the closet. There'll be no sequels to that song, as we are going to see Summer finish things off. Tied up 7-7.
A little bit unfortunate at the end there. The Molotov was doing so much work. Freeman was about to be forced out into the open, but then there was the peek from Graveyard. Fnatic, who did decide to go in for that retake, could have maybe had a half-decent buy here, but instead it's Pistols, M4 and Scout.
Intent with the opening there on top Banana. This battle has waged on every round as it usually does, and a lot of the time it's been Fnatic who's been successful, but this time Bentet's going to draw first blood. It's Golden out. Obviously not much for Fnatic to work with despite it being the last round of the half. It's just the way the economy's shaken down.
Oh, Bentet, that's cheeky. Nearly gets a double. Flusher was weakened and finished off, but Crims able to dispatch a Freeman. Player disadvantage still remains the case on the CT side. Brolan, CZ in hand, going to go looking for a fight. And he may find it with somebody round the corner, but he's getting tagged in the back from Summer as well. A sandwich of Tyloo. And now Crims has to try and clutch a 1-on-3. Last round of the half, of course, so he's going to be going for it. Has a couple of flashes. Does have a kit. I feel like it would have to be a divide and conquer kind of clutch if he's going to pull it off. And, well, he stumbles on the first hurdle. Somebody will have his number. And Tyloo retake the lead going into half-time. We'll see if Fnatic can weather the storm and battle back, or if Tyloo will claim their choice of map after this short commercial break. The second half rages on. Tyloo on the CT side, Fnatic now occupying the T side, and we're a bit later than anticipated. Unfortunately, Bentet is a bit under the weather. He is currently feeling sick. So
I would too if I was playing for Tyloo.
Yikes.
Oh!
Well, it hasn't stopped him from landing headshots, has
It's
it?
contagious, Vince. It's all over JW's face.
But yeah,
right.
Bentet apparently isn't feeling great. You wouldn't think of it the way he's shooting right now, but it's maybe something to keep an eye out on as time goes on. Bentet's about to eat a lot of grenade damage though, but he actually backs out. Manages to avoid the vast majority of it. Only takes the 1 HP in terms of damage. And looking to now push around the back of them are Tyloo. There's a whole clump of them. Freeman, somebody still back there. Brolan is doing a lot of damage. He's being tagged up through the smoke. And the Tide is stuck on the side. They don't have control of the bomb either. They don't have the bomb, Dust. They have to go get it.
Indeed, that's a really tough position. Surely Tyloo don't let this one go. Not after the shot that Bentet just hit. Not after this bomb placement. Surely there's no way Fnatic reel this one back in. It'd be crazy. Surely not.
Think not, but stranger things have happened today. Much stranger things have happened. CZ for Crims, 1 HP somebody. A bullet anywhere and he's a goner. Bentet is hiding in the close angles. And they seem to realize it. Crims is still staring towards the CT side. He wants to get rid of the threat of Bentet, and he's going to do just that. 14 seconds to go. Freeman is going to try and attempt to stop the plant, but he's too little, too late, and Flusher will dome him anyway. Bentet's heroics have ended up proving to be completely invaluable and worthless. Flusher, Fnatic, 8-8.
Somewhere Bleh is pulling his hair out after a round like that.
He does have a lot of hair though, so he can spare some.
Exactly. I mean, that does help out a lot, doesn't he? He's got that sick ponytail. Poor guy. He's probably formulating a tweet right now.
Yeah, I mean, if Bentet's sick and still playing this well, I mean, he just run out of things to say about the guy.
I mean, the dude has been so good for so long. I mean, he's definitely had his off events, sure, but on average, he's been excellent. Someone that I could easily see on an international team. He does speak a good English. Very skilled player. Doesn't really seem to have very much hope within the Asian region at this point. I mean, it's been several years, it feels like, since we've seen a team be anything more than just like an upset team from that region, other than like the Renegades and what they're doing, but they obviously are a North American-based team. Obviously, their players are from that area, but, you know, they've been playing in the NA region for quite some time, so it's tough. But let's hold the phone, because there's still some hope for them in this map. They're obviously probably not going to find this one, but maybe the next one, when they get some weapons in their hands, they could figure something out. In the meantime, it's just kind of milking money for the SMGs of Fnatic.
That is the state of play. They have Golden, who is making a move around the arches, but no one's home. They're both situated on the site, and the last is Summer, who's over on A. Again, no reason for him to save. It's just not necessarily allowing Fnatic to farm him as well with their SMGs. And it is the AK, which is kind of good news to Tyloo. One of the SMGs to get even more money in effect. Fnatic have regained the lead, and Tyloo now into another buy.
Indeed, the rifles are going to be in play here for Tyloo. What can they do with it? Summer is going to be on the SMG, though. That is certainly worth noting. So it's not a fully decked out buy, but still pretty sharp. A little bit of utility exchange over towards Banana, but no one's going to hold position for Tyloo at the top. Just going to kind of fade back into the site. Get back into kind of a traditional 2-3 split for the defense.
Yeah, that MP7 does allow him to get the extra grenades and also the kit, the only one that they currently have. He's also playing in the arches, so he's in one of the rotational positions where it's easy to pick up the kit if you are going from one side to the other. Incendiary and Smoke have been deployed in Banana. Going to end in a bit of a stalemate as Fnatic decide to push their attention elsewhere.
Yeah, definitely looking to get control of brackets here, and they are going to have it. No real resistance. It's pretty classic stuff. It's all about just now holding the moto wrap and holding any type of lane aggression. Summer is in a close angle with the SMG. Gonna fight that SMG up close and finds both of them. Great work. Even pops out for a third. That's obscene.
Yeah, that first jump across, though, it is a bit odd to me. You want to have the second player following up instantly, not going in 2 or 3 seconds after. It just seems like you're asking to be pummeled at that stage. Crim's, though, still alive, still able to put down some pain with the bomb under his control. 23 seconds to go. And similar to what we saw earlier, he does want to die before time. He knows it's very likely to be CTs all over the place. Oh, Bentet's been spotted. He can do a bit of damage here. 6 seconds to go. Now he's going to have to start to think about actually saving. He can't die anytime soon, so the AK will be traded across to the next round. Finally losing 2 players, going to sting them, but at least they're back in the game.
Like the one-hit wonder that is Airborne. I guess
Did
they're
they
not
actually have any other
are
hits?
they? Yeah. Huh?
I literally don't know if they had any more hits than that.
I don't think so.
Feels bad.
You should go to their concert and ask to play bass. I think they're actually playing a show near you soon.
Really?
Yeah. Should look
They're
it up.
still together?
Yeah, they still tour. Should look it up. I think there's like a show going on in Newcastle or something like that. I know that funny enough, if we were gonna be at Malmö events, we never told you this, but we were actually gonna go see them in concert because they were literally like in Denmark, right across the bridge from Malmö.
That would have been so legit.
That would have been. But yeah, not gonna happen, of course, now as we're doing this remotely. But I think there is a show coming near you, so you should check it out.
A whole bunch of terrorists coming over on the middle side, and Attacker and Freeman acting together. Been able to squash this push pretty aggressively, but things have started to turn around for the worse on the Tyloo side. With the SG ripping through players, Bentet tagged down to 19. Make that 0. I thought Fnatic were going to be completely hoisted out of the round after that double spray from the quad, and the lower side of quad was just doing so much work.
Yeah, they're finding ways just to kind of trickle through. Now they're into the 10-9 lead. Tyloo, just the upgraded pistol onto somebody, and I think one for Freeman as well. Actually, still a lot of pistol dropping going on in CT spawn. Finally, we wind up with 3 players with 5.7s. No quick attack from Fnatic, so the timing won't get punished. Just kind of standard stuff here. Flusha and Golden getting control of Banana. Brolin being kind of that mid player. Crims towards the apartments. JW, not the classical weapon, still has one. And Flusha knows his players here. He's spotted out. He knows what's up, and he gets the frag. That's a freebie.
Yeah, I was just trying to bait out the shots before getting the kill with the CZ, or if it's something like a Mag 7, if they can fire off that first bullet, gives you a chance. Just instantly wrap around and land the headshot. JW, maybe cornered by the 2 CTs. At least they do get the avenged kill. Looking to try and pick up the SG that's just out of arm's reach. Freeman, though, with a 5.7. Using Attacker as bait. We'll be getting the AK after all. Bentet maybe trying to pierce through the smoke and see if he can land some headshots. Just that, and there's no avenging kill from Flusha either. Bentet has got away scot-free. He's going to force the bomb down. Bentet's trying to fake as if he's going to jump through the smoke, but Flusha's not buying it. And lands a headshot through the smoke. He's just put Flusha down at 36 HP. And Tyloo maybe about to do it again with pistols. They are. They've broken it down once again. This is absolutely ridiculous.
Man, when you said that Bentet was sick, I thought you meant he was physically ill, but apparently he's just doing it all over the server. Absolutely fantastic work with the USP. Gets a kill against a fully decked out player and dinks another. Winds up using that to win the round. You also got to give some credit to Freeman. He had a big play with the 5.7 towards Boiler. And that is a round you cannot be losing if you're Fnatic. If you truly think that you're the favorite coming into this, those are the rounds you got to be locking up. Instead, we have a tie game on our hands, and Fnatic are having to do more with less. Just that SIG on JW.
Well, what a moment that could end up being in the context of this best of 3. Of course, this round is just going to be a massacre in mid. JW, the one player to fully invest into the round, is the last man standing, and he has at least got the 1 kill to his name. There is an incendiary. I think he also has a Molotov, but he's starting to make a move back down mid, where he could be greeted any moment by somebody with an M4 who will lay him to rest.
Some fancy work from Summer at top middle, but obviously the eco from Fnatic, so you weren't expecting much. Had to force their way through a smoke, and Summer just kind of lines up, knocks him down. So it is going to be Tyloo taking the lead back. Still not much of a buy that can go on here from Fnatic. Just upgraded pistols. So a chance for Tyloo to build that lead even more.
So all Molotovs being deployed onto Banana. Flusher taking a little bit of chip damage, but it's more designed to just stop them from taking early Banana control. Allows Tyloo to try and dictate the pace a little bit more. Does seem to me as well, Dust, that this Tyloo is playing significantly better than what we saw earlier today. Some of that may be down to Fnatic having a few flubs here and there and not quite playing to their fullest potential.
We'll see how Fnatic wants to do here. They have control of top middle. The bomb is within arm's reach just behind them. Flusha is going to be coming up the back line here pretty soon after just kind of keeping tabs on Banana for a bit, making sure that there's no push down. Bomb actually leaning back over towards this direction, and Flush is actually pushing all the way up through Banana. JW and Crim's taking significant nade damage over here towards middle. I'm not sure exactly what Fnatic want to do. I thought it was going to be maybe as they're trying to split CT spawn. I'm not really sure.
Well, if that was the plan, then somebody has single-handedly shut that idea completely down. And although Bentet has been swept aside, it's only a momentary gain for Fnatic, and now they're 2 rounds behind. It's been a while since we've been in this kind of a situation, but Tyloo really waking up when it counts.
Again, this was their map pick. Fnatic's pick is up next, which is Mirage, which I'm sure Tyloo aren't too upset about playing. Kind of been a classic map for them in the past. But we'll see. Fnatic have a full buy up here. There's still a chance for them to crack back into this one. It's still a tight race, all things considered. Fnatic wasting no time getting control of top middle, and they take attacker down very rapidly. So finally, after all these times they've taken mid and not really gotten anywhere, they found an opening pick this time along the way. So now they have the quick 5 versus 4. That's a nice luxury to have this early.
Have been dissolved down on their health bars, though. Crims is very low, and then Gold and JW Flush have all been tagged, all in the range of the M4A4 headshots now.
Yep. Very true. Does have that added threat to it now, as Fnatic have been slowed down in middle for quite some time. Freeman actually taking a little bit of a pop flash peek. He gets his head shaved a little bit there, but it's just a crew cut, not the full scalp, so he's able to get away. All is now quiet. He's going to go for it again. He is not messing around, but he's going to pay for it. At least Summer's able to trade back, but still the advantage for Fnatic.
40 seconds, though. Looks like they should have a fairly clean push towards B, especially with Bentet now getting that kill into Golden, though. This could force somebody's hand to go back to the B site, and he's caught out in the open. Roland's going to have the free plant. I don't think Tyloo are interested in going for it. You can see that from Summer's perspective, he's barely budged an inch. So he's going to lock on with the AK. 2 AK-47s on CT side is incredibly potent, so it makes sense why you'd want to hold on to those. But this game just seems like it's back and forth, Dust. No team is really taking a commanding lead. It never feels like, to me, that either team is going to pull away right now and just secure the win comfortably. I think this has overtime written all over it.
Yeah, there's been so many situations where a team's only won like one round or maybe 2 times in a row. There's only been 2 times this entire game where someone's gotten 3 in a row, and it's been from the CT side for both teams. So definitely been pretty nitty-gritty when you really think about it. Also, a lot of rounds, when you think about it, where not many players survive. There's only been maybe a handful of rounds where like 4 or 5 players still stood at the end of the round. It's been a lot of it just maybe 1, 2 surviving, 0 surviving. It is pretty wild. I think that just came down to the fact that obviously Tyloo wanted to make a play because they were a man behind, tried their chances at lane, and just never really got the duel they wanted. Kept getting traded back. But now they have the double AWP set up. We have hardly seen them op at all. Now we see 2 of them on the field at the same time.
One of them's already been called into action. Somebody will be able to erode away Golden early on in the round, putting the instant advantage in favor of Tyloo. Flasher at the top of Banana, but he is all alone.
Just wants to make sure that Tyloo can't have this space and have this information. Also wants to make sure that he keeps 2 players here for as long as he possibly can. In the meantime, Fnatic are taking mid. They've had no trouble getting this portion, and many CT teams will give up this space. It's just that breakthrough point that they haven't really been able to accomplish. They've had no real wraps up through archway or any real successful taps up lane even. So something's going to have to give for them on that front. They can't just keep relying on these B attacks.
Good counter flash put in. This is why Flasher was waiting for so long. That's going to keep Bentet interested over on B. Now the rest of Fnatic are making a move over, so Bentet is the only line of defense, the last beacon, the last vanguard of the B side. A smoke's now being deployed. 25 seconds, instantly headshot by Brolan.
Found the save.
Wouldn't you know it, it's going to be a save, and wouldn't you know it, Fnatic have tied us up again. It's neck and neck.
It's just, again, Flusha makes an individual play. You saw that Tyloo, felt like they wanted to pop flash top banana to get some information to make sure, in fact, it was some type of A hit, not some type of fake. Flusha gets the kill because of it. Now Bentet's alone. And Fnatic did a really great job with their utility on the A side of the map to really keep everyone firmly entrenched on pit and over towards library. There was really no reason for Tyloo to rotate towards B. They think, yeah, maybe this guy got alert kill. Maybe he'll essentially backstab a CT spawn, or maybe he'll just meet up with his team at middle. But we're going to hold our defense here at A. Unfortunately for them, Flusha kind of used that to pave the way open for B. A sick little pot flash push on the Bentet, who's solo in the site. No assistance, no rotation. And so it's just a save from Tyloo in the end. 12 all now. The back and forth affair continues, as you said. Just these little 2-round streaks here and there from each team, essentially.
And both teams, too, have okay economy. It's not as if the loser of this round is going to be broken. So it looks like we're going to be going the distance with all guns blazing.
Indeed. Golden leading the charge over here with banana control. Flusha backing him up with his own Molotov that should force Summer's AWP off the angle and give this up. Or is he going to hang around and actually take a little bit of a cheeky repeat? It looks like that's what he's thinking of. A Flash is going to come in to support this endeavor. No one from Fnatic, though, has shown themselves just yet. Now Golden and company do start swinging over, but Summer just continuing to hold this angle. No one's giving him a shot. He's not backing down, though. He really wants this opportunity. He's going to get pot flashed in again. Still nothing. Finally must retreat to the site.
Too much ventured or gains, though, from Fnatic. Freeman, an attacker, holding the line again with another strange poor buy from Tyloo, and they're making it stick. 257s. How many times is it now that Fnatic have stumbled with this kind of a buy against them?
I mean, they put them in the perfect place, to be fair. Like, they're placing these guys inside the apartments in close range battles. There's so much attention at the top banana battle that those two kind of slip into those 4 positions in apps, and both of them find their men. Those are big kills. Give AK over to Freeman. We have Golden just kind of lurking up lane. The bomb's going to try to go B. If Golden's getting an entry, that would make it all the better. At least holds these 2 players in place, but it's still an even 2-on-2 on the site.
Yeah, these need to be clean kills. 15 seconds to go. They still have some utility additionally, but if JW comes around the corner and tries to toss one of those Molotovs out, he's going to be a dead man. Summer has connected instantly, and JW, he's going to try and save, but somebody's not going to allow him to do so. And that's another AWP also picked up.
Man, oh man. Tyloo find a way to win in a tough situation. Again, great play for them at Apartments. Despite the fact that they were kind of losing the banana control battle, they found success elsewhere on the map, which is all that matters. Double op is going to be in play. A couple of AKs given over to Attacker and Binset essentially for free. And Fnatic are actually bought down to the bottom of the barrel. If they take this loss, then Tyloo basically gets a free map point, or it's just Fnatic force spawning for the rest of the game. So this is really dire straits actually for the Swedes.
Yeah, we are definitely getting towards the panic station right now. You know, being impaired constantly when trying to push onto the sites.
It just seems like they have no follow-through ability on the A-bomb site, man. Like, everything has been B, and anytime they get control of mid, they never really get anything done with it. Like, I've never really seen them been able to kind of, like, combine together, you know, get up lane, get some action going, let your Apartments player get, like, a sick timing where he gets to blindside someone at Moto or inside the bomb site. There's been, like, no coordination like that. They've been stalled out so many times on this side of the map and forced us to go back to a late B hit.
Maybe running out of ideas now, Fnatic. They themselves haven't been a core roster for the longest of times. Obviously, they have been back and forth around the block. JW tagged down to 42. Again, though, Fnatic, they're not getting in there quickly. 35 seconds left. They're going to try and slow peek it, and Summer couldn't have asked for an easier kill. Slow peeking into his crosshair. Somebody wasn't far off on that flick, but he's alone. He's going to try and buy up a little bit of time. If he can get any kills, then all the better for it. He's going to play in a more advanced position. Out comes JW straight into the lion's den, and he'll get chomped down. 50 seconds to go, and Bentet up on the boost is raining down some serious pain. Flusher only has 8. Try and get this one planted now. He's stuck on the site itself. He's going to at least get the plant and tick forward the economy, but his life is deemed forfeit. And Tyloo now 2 rounds away from claiming their choice of map.
It's just been too one-dimensional for the Swedish side, man. I mean, every single round's just like textbook, let's put pressure on A, let's run up lane, maybe send Golden up lane by himself to really hold everyone in place. Let's go for a late B hit every single time. In fact, it's happened so often that round, Tyloo didn't even bother thinking about it. Like, as soon as they saw Golden by himself on lane, they immediately ran 2 players through spawn. They got the boost very quickly. They were immediately on top of Fnatic getting those kills. It's just, there's like no tactical depth here from Fnatic. And I mean, obviously they haven't been together for very long. The roster didn't get announced that long ago, to be honest. But I mean, they've had a couple of weeks. Just see, especially a map like Inferno. I mean, it seems like it wouldn't be hard to at least have some basic smokes down, some good flashes, and at least be able to like be decisive, trade up lane together. Just be able to get in there and get in their face. Instead, it's just a lot of like stalled out play, wait until the last 20 or 30 seconds and kind of do this like late attack on the B-bomb site. And they've had some success with it throughout the half. Don't get me wrong, it's not been a terrible T side, but it feels like they've just been too one-dimensional.
I definitely agree. It does seem quite stale and stagnant. I think Tyloo have got a good read of the situation now. They're going to try and speed it up, but it's only got pistols really behind it. And try as he may, Roland is a corpse. Leaving Flusher and Golden to now push B again against the boosted up Inform Bentet. And 2 players back at CT side. Actually, both the AWPers are here just watching the cross. There's no smoke for the cross either. And as soon as they peek this, they have got to surely just be dead men. Grenade in. Oh, the flick from somebody onto an airborne Flusher. Plucked out the sky, and Golden, well, his future is looking bleak. And he has had his lights switched off. 3 map points.
Somebody wanting back to gears for some duck hunt on that round. Getting the shot in the air, as you noted, basically stopping any really hope of Fnatic getting that bomb planted and into the site. We are now on map point here for Tyloo. They'll have 3 cracks at this before an overtime might be required. Haven't had any extra rounds just yet here on the secondary stream. I'm sure you would love to see some though, Vince.
We've had quite a lot of close games.
Oh, that is true.
I think we've only had one like kind of stompy game, which was like a
Vitality Tyloo here.
Yeah.
That was worse than that, I think, wasn't it? I might be wrong.
It may have. It seems so long ago now, Dust, when we were both young men. Time has passed since then. It's been a long day for us here on the B stream.
That's for sure. So just to give you an update from the other stream, Ints did win the second map, so it is going to a third map between Ints and Vitality. It's going to be in Dust 2. Just figured I'd let you know about that.
Oh, the lineup for Attacker. Can't quite shimmy across to a third kill. And the remaining Tyloo players are still on B side. Very slow rotation. Somebody is going for the rotation, but Bentet's staying in his position. So I assume, again, it is going to be another eco, or another save, pardon me, to mitigate the eco. Although they do have plenty of funds, to be honest. After this round, Attacker and Summer are going to be around the 10k mark. But maybe just playing safe rather than sorry.
So Fnatic do come alive here, right when it matters the most, when their map life was on the line. Go ahead and finally commit to an A hit and actually make it work. Good work from Crims and Flusha, making that thing happen. 2 guns will be saved from Tyloo, and they do have plenty of money to buy around these 2 weapons. That was kind of odd. He just kind of randomly threw a nade or incendiary into B site, but didn't do anything with it. I feel like you could just hold on to it for the next round, but all right.
One more map point for Tyloo to defend. Flashes and Molotovs being exchanged. They are gaining a lot of ground for this Fnatic. But I feel like Tyloo have been here before quite a few times. And they have a fairly good understanding as to what's going to come up. As we said, delayed B hit. Taking B this early can easily pull back towards mid.
I mean, Fnatic have been really good at controlling top P, though. I feel like Tyloo's never really been able to stop them from having this. They've always had to just kind of play with that lack of information on the B side of the map. Constantly had to respect B as a threat. Lost a couple of players who have pushed late for information at times, particularly Somebody's been kind of dealt with a few times that way. This time, though, Fnatic looking to pounce on middle early. Again, they've done this a lot, but it's the next stage where they've really struggled to get where they need to be.
Well, Golden catches Summer as he tries to retreat after missing his chance. He's missing his shot. JW, though, tagged up heavily from Summer, has been finalized courtesy of Freeman and Bentet. He's waiting in the shadows of the smoke. There's the double spray. The bomb goes with them. The round may be following. The map may be following. Bentet, fittingly, in a position to clutch this round for his teammates. It's all down to Flusha. He's been tagged up through the wall as well. 17 HP to his name, 15 seconds on the clock, no control of the bomb. There aren't too many situations worse than this in a 2v1 clutch. If Flusha can get one, it'll be pretty impressive, and it's not going to happen. Tyloo, on their choice of map, are going to go 1-0 to the good. Fnatic 1 map away from elimination.
Brilliant effort there from Tyloo. Bentet with the great timing through the smoke at Library wraps it up for Tyloo. Again, folks, thanks so much for tuning in. It's been a marathon of a day here for Vince and I. I've been casting for nearly 12 hours. It probably will be by the time we're done. Appreciate all of you for tuning in. Definitely follow up the stream because we still have at least 1 more match to go today, and then we have 3 best of 3s tomorrow and 3 best of 3s Thursday. Vince and I covering all the group stage matches here on the secondary stream. If you're enjoying it, you can follow us up as well. Exclamation point casters in chat. And if you're enjoying yourself and you want to discuss the tournament, discuss our casting, discuss really anything related to the event, make sure you're using that hashtag DHMasters over on Twitter and Instagram and all that good stuff. But yeah, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're bringing you Map 2 on Mirage. Should be about maybe 5 to 10 minutes, so stay tuned. We'll be back in a bit.